to many, many people. So guys, welcome to another episode of the Powerhouse Mentality podcast, as well as the Powerhouse Mentality weekly training. And as you guys already know, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time every single Monday, I go live in the Facebook group and we do a different topic each week. So one week it's all about nutrition and training, and the following week it's about mindset. So we flip-flop between those two things because those are the pillars to what makes the Powerhouse Mentality the Powerhouse Mentality. I'm a true believer that health is wealth in all areas of your life. So if you want to be the best version of yourself, then you need to take care of yourself nutritionally. You need to take care of yourself when it comes to fitness, stress management, but you can't achieve your fitness and your nutrition goals unless you have the proper mindset to stay consistent with it. Because what most people do, what most of you maybe have done in the past, or what you're currently doing right now, is that you self-sabotage yourself because you have all of these limiting beliefs because your mindset is shit, because you don't believe in yourself, because you feel like you're not enough. And then every single time you start to make progress when it comes to your health and your fitness journey, you don't believe that you deserve success, so you self-sabotage yourself. If that's you, drop me in the comments, because we need to raise our hand, we need to hold each other accountable, and the first step to healing is awareness. But guys, the topic of today is 3 reasons, or 3 of the most common reasons why your diet is failing. Now, I did a video pretty similar to this a few weeks back, but it was focused all around your workouts. So why your workouts aren't getting you results. This is all about how your nutrition, or how you're approaching your nutrition, is standing in the way of you getting results. And these are the most common ones that I've personally seen over my last decade plus being in the fitness industry and coaching people one-on-one. And it's most common, these 3 things, when you think that you're doing everything right, but you're also feeling stuck, or you feel like you've hit a plateau, or you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not losing weight fast enough, or I'm not seeing results fast enough, but you're swearing up and down that you're doing everything correct. So these 3 things are for you. Number 1, we're just going to get right into it. Actually, before we get into it, let me set the tone. In order for you to lose body fat, for you to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. But here's the thing. If it's that simple of just being in a calorie deficit, then why isn't everybody shredded? Why can't everybody do it, right? Why do people struggle with this? Well, number 1, everybody can do it. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons. People think they can't, but they actually can, and they're holding themselves back. Number 2, simple doesn't mean easy. Simple, not easy. I say it all the time when it comes to my training sessions. In fact, I actually just posted a reel with a workout that I did today, and I said simple, not easy, because it was an assault bike and running. It messed me up. It destroyed me. But it was very simple, but it wasn't easy. So that's exactly what fat loss or weight loss is. It's simple, it's not easy. The method is simple, but the execution isn't easy. And I think that a lot of people have messed up expectations when it comes to weight loss or fat loss. They think, okay, it's simple, the process is simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. So when it becomes difficult, when things get tough, your expectations aren't met, so you think something's wrong or you're doing something wrong and you quit. Now, when it comes to fat loss and when it comes to weight loss, and I'm going to focus on fat loss because everybody wants to lose body fat. Nobody wants to lose just weight, right? So we don't need more information. We don't need more technology. That's not the solution to fat loss. And a lot of people think it is, because you think, oh, well, I'll just find that next secret. I'll get that next hack, or I'll Google all of these different things. But I think that we have plenty of information. We have plenty of technology. In fact, sometimes we have too much. The problem isn't I don't have enough information. It's you're approaching it the wrong way. Fat loss, weight loss, achieving a health goal is all associated with behavioral and habit change. So you need to change your relationship with food. You need to change your relationship with self in order to get these things to actually stick. So when you can approach it that way, instead of thinking that, oh, I need to listen to this next influencer on Instagram and think that they have the secret, they don't. They're trying to probably sell you something. And if they're genuine, then They're just sharing information with you. But at the end of the day, it comes down to behavioral and habit change. And that's exactly how you achieve any goal. Health goal, fitness goal, career goal, any goal that you have comes down to your habits and your behaviors. But what are the 3 tips to why your diet is failing? Well, number 1, your calories are too low. Oh, you didn't see that one coming, did you? So your calories are too low. So now you're thinking, oh no, I'm in starvation mode. No. Don't worry. That shit isn't real. You're not in starvation mode. So let's just clear the air on that one, because your body cannot make fat out of nothing. How many starving people, like really starving people, have you seen that are overweight? Think about it like this. You've seen prisoners of war, right? They're extremely stressed. They're extremely underfed. Think of people who were in concentration camps back in World War II. Extreme stress, extremely underfed. They were not overweight. They were not obese. They were emaciated. So you can argue all that you want that undereating puts me into starvation mode, or all of this stress is causing me to hold on to body fat. What it really is if you're stressed, generally what happens is you're not really focused on the things that help you lose weight or lose fat. For example, if you're stressed, maybe you're over-consuming calories, or maybe you're not sleeping very well, so you're holding on to water, or maybe your workouts suck, or you're not recovering from your workouts. Those things matter. But think about it like this. Next time somebody tells you that they're in starvation mode, or that you're in starvation mode, how many prisoners of war have you seen that are overweight? They come out very emaciated. So think of it like that. So what is actually going on here when I say calories are too low, and that's why your diet is failing? Your mindset, and this is where a lot of people are, and this is why a lot of people stay stuck, is that your mindset is, I need to eat as little as possible to lose weight as fast as possible. And that's a recipe for disaster, because that is not sustainable. It's not. That will lead you to feel absolutely miserable. You won't recover from your workouts. You'll lose muscle, which will slow down your metabolism, because muscle is like the fire to the metabolism. It's the inferno, right? You're not going to sleep very well. Your libido is going to be terrible. Your digestion's probably going to be terrible. You're going to feel like shit. You have no energy, right? When you should truly be approaching it like this: I want to lose weight as sustainably as possible, right? I want to eat as much as possible to lose weight as sustainably as possible. The goal should be eat as much as possible while still seeing results in losing weight, because that is sustainable. And a lot of people find themselves going into this all or nothing mentality when they're always trying to be perfect. And the second that they're not perfect, they go completely off on the deep end. So you're trying to be perfect all of the time because you're trying to lose weight as fast as possible. How long does that actually last? How long do you actually sustain results? Probably not very long. It's a recipe for disaster. It's not sustainable. So if something isn't sustainable, like eating too low of calories, then it's not going to equate to you being able to see results. Maybe you see results right off the bat, but if you lost 20 pounds and gained it all back, I don't think you were successful. I get a lot of people who come to me and they say, oh, well, keto was the only thing that worked for me. But it didn't, because you lost the weight and you gained it back and you're in the same damn place. It didn't work. If something works, that means it worked and you sustained and maintained your results. That's when it works. So think about this. Be consistently good over being inconsistently perfect. If you can take anything away from this training, be consistently good instead of being inconsistently perfect. Those who are consistently good will always be further in life than those who are inconsistently perfect. The vast majority of people try to be inconsistently perfect and it doesn't work out. Number 2, this one's pretty obvious. I bet you know where I'm going here. Calories are too high. And there's a few reasons why this happens, right? Because if you're trying to lose weight and you're like, well, maybe I'm just eating too many calories, a lot of the times it's something that you're unaware of. Like, you're not stupid, right? If you're trying to lose weight and you have no idea what's stalling your progress, maybe you're just not, or maybe you're eating too much. And again, there's a few reasons as to why this happens. Number one, you're not actually tracking your nutrition. You're not weighing out your food. You're not managing it with an app. So you have absolutely no idea how many calories you're truly consuming. And research continues to show that people severely underestimate how much they eat. Severely. Because a lot of the times people forget what they eat throughout the day. The amount of times I've had a client get on like an onboarding call and we're going over, okay, what does a typical day in the life look like for you as far as meals? They'll break down what they had for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. And I'll be like, is that all that you had? Are you sure? And we kind of dig a little bit deeper and they're like, oh, wait, but I did have some candy from my coworker's desk. I had some pretzels. I had a little bit of peanut butter. I had some ice cream. I had some coffee with cream and sugar. There's a lot of stuff that we just don't think about that we almost mindlessly eat. So if you're not tracking your nutrition, or if you've never tracked your nutrition, I highly recommend you do it to at least get a baseline and understanding of what is in your food and what different portions look like. Because most people just don't understand what portions look like. Have you ever weighed out peanut butter? It's disturbing how small of a serving peanut butter is. Have you ever weighed out a serving of ice cream or a serving of cereal? It's very disappointing. So it's important not to do it forever because perfect is prison, but to be able to understand what it looks like, and especially if you have a very specific goal, weighing and measuring your food is 100% necessary if you want to get to where you want to go as efficiently as possible. The second reason why people's calories are a little bit too high is that they're perfect during the week. Monday through Friday is perfect. And then it kind of falls to shit on the weekends, which I see this happen so often. And here's how I like to paint the picture for people. If I'm monitoring my clients through the First Form app, which is how I check on my clients' nutrition, I can see everything that they're eating. And generally what I see here when somebody's stuck in this cycle is that they are tracking perfectly Monday through Thursday. Friday, they track until dinner and then they don't track dinner. Why? Because they went out for drinks. And then Saturday, they track breakfast. And then they don't track anything. And then Sunday, it looked like they died. And then Monday, they're back to normal. But here's the thing. If you're tracking perfectly during the week, that's 60%. If you're earning a 60%, you're not passing. You're getting 60% results. That's not good. So no wonder you feel like you're stuck because you're almost resetting every single Monday. People severely underestimate how much damage a cheat day or a cheat meal can do because they don't realize how much they can fucking put down as far as calories. You can eat a lot of calories and a lot of food on a weekend, especially because most people during the weekend, they're maybe, sleeping in a little bit more so they're not up as early or as active. Sometimes they take the weekends off out of the gym so they're less active overall, and then they're consuming a lot of food. So think of it like this. If this is you, you're probably using the all or nothing mentality as your excuse. And the all or nothing mentality is an excuse because you're picking and choosing what you have an all or nothing mentality towards. I'm sure that you don't have an all or nothing mentality towards your family or towards your career, but you're picking and choosing it to have it towards your fitness. Usually it comes down to how you perceive food. So people who have an all or nothing mentality towards food, they think, for example, oh, pizza is bad, so if they eat pizza, then they already fucked up, so they might as well eat as much as possible right now because they can't have it again because it's bad. When instead you should be looking at things as moderation and management. So if you're tracking your nutrition, you can moderately have a slice of pizza and then hit your protein and calories and see results. It's not about doing it every day, but it's about, hey, if I'm craving a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I want to have a Reese's peanut butter cup that's 190 calories, I'm going to have it, I'm going to track it in my nutrition, and it has 7 grams of protein. Hey, but it all comes down to moderation. If you're restricting yourself so much during the week that you feel the need to binge on the weekend, that's a problem. And it could even be you're eating too little calories during the week, and then it leads you to needing to binge on the weekend to make up for it, and you're going way over, and now you're not in a calorie deficit anymore. Another reason why people's calories are too high is that they are adding back calories that they're burning through exercise. Do not do this. MyFitnessPal does this. Why? I do not know. It's an extremely, extremely disastrous approach. You're not burning as many calories as you think you are. Your watch is probably extremely inaccurate. There have been studies that have shown that some of these watches that tell you how many calories you're burning are 90% inaccurate. That's wild. That's more inaccurate than accurate. That's crazy. So don't add in or don't add back the calories that you're burning through exercise. The only exception to this would be an elite athlete. But I'm assuming the majority of you are not elite athletes. However, if you are, then you want to make sure you're recovering properly from your workouts. So fueling is going to be a big part of this. The last reason is sneaky calories. And this one, I've seen it happen so many times in so many different circumstances. Sit back because I have a few stories and you might relate to one of them. Sneaky calories meaning like, oh, I'm not tracking everything, but I didn't realize that I had to track that. And again, it's not your fault. It's just you didn't know. But now you know. So now you can make the change. So back when I worked at a gym called Fitness Connection, I was a manager at our celebration club, and I was helping out one of the fitness managers with one of his clients because she was stuck and she was coming in every day. Like she was working out with him every damn day. And she was tracking her nutrition and she was swearing up and down that she was tracking everything accurately. She was weighing it out. She was doing everything. Her calories looked fine. And we sat her down, we really spoke. And I was like, are you sure you're tracking everything? And come to find out, she wasn't tracking her Dunkin' Donuts latte. And she was having a large, and it was very, very white, meaning there was a lot of cream and a lot of sugar. And she wasn't accounting for it. And then I said, cool, now we know, so why don't we track it tomorrow and see what we got? And she was having it multiple times a day, and it ended up putting her over 1,000 calories higher than what she thought she was at. So a lot of people don't realize like, oh, the latte that I get, oh, the creamer that I put in my coffee, I need to track those things. Another instance was I had a client when I worked at Crunch Fitness where same thing, we were doing everything, tracking everything, working out, everything looked fine. But then I noticed her apples and her bananas and all of her fruits, she was tracking as large, medium, small. Potato, same thing, like small potato, instead of weighing it out. And then when we started weighing out the fruit and the potatoes and things like that, she realized that she was severely underestimating how much she was actually eating. Then she started to see results once we started to track things more accurately. Another thing is sauces. I had a client once who I asked him to send me a picture of his food, sent me pictures when he wasn't seeing results, sending me pictures. And then I see there's like Chick-fil-A sauce on the side. And I'm like, are you eating that Chick-fil-A sauce? Because it's not in your macros for the day. Oh, I have to track that. Hell yeah, you do. Any sauces that have calories, now mustard, hot sauce, don't fucking worry about that. It's not that serious. But ketchup, barbecue sauce, Chick-fil-A sauce has 140 calories for one of those little packets. That's crazy. If you want it, have it, but make sure you're managing it and tracking it. That's what's most important. Parents do this a lot too when it comes to your kids. Like you just grab some fries or some chicken nuggets off your kid's plate. You eat the crusts off the sandwiches. You eat kind of mindlessly and you just don't think about it. So if you feel like, you're not seeing results, maybe check out and make sure that, hey, am I tracking absolutely everything? And again, this also goes back to the peanut butter thing. My mom is a good example of this. One time she came to visit me and she was tracking her macros at the time. And she was like, oh, I'm just going to have a little bit of peanut butter so I can have a little bit more fats. And she takes out just like a spoon and just goes into the peanut butter and just starts eating it. And I'm like, did you weigh that out? Because that is way more than a serving. She was like, no, it's a tablespoon. And then we actually weighed it out and it was very, very sad. So again, if you're somebody who's never weighed out peanut butter or any sort of nut butter, go do that. And I'm sorry in advance because it may crush your soul. It always does. Now, the third reason and the final reason why your diet might not be working is, and this one's going to kill a lot of people, it is working, but you aren't being patient enough. it is working, but you're not being patient enough. Let that sink in. Because really, what a lot of people say is that I feel like this isn't working. So it's more subjective instead of objective, right? We're feeling like our emotions are getting in our way. A lot of people just allow the scale to dictate how they operate. If you're stepping on the scale every single day and you're going based off what the scale says, that's not going to work because the scale can fluctuate for so many different reasons that are unrelated to fat loss. And think about it like this. If you're actually being successful with your fat loss, you're losing body fat and you're gaining muscle, the scale might not move that much. But that doesn't mean you're not seeing results. So instead of using the scale as a weekly measurement or a daily measurement, use it as a monthly measurement because that's going to be much more accurate, especially for the ladies. Because 1 week, you're going to be on your cycle and you're going to be retaining a shit ton of water and the scale's going to go up and you're going to get really upset. But it's just normal and you'll be back to normal in no time. So with that one, I feel like a lot of people say, like, I should be losing weight faster. Well, why? Like, why should you be losing weight faster? Why don't we, again, go back to the mindset of, I need to lose weight as sustainably as possible, which doesn't mean as fast as possible, but it means that you're actually going to get results that stick. So which one do you want? Do you want to lose 10 pounds in a month and then gain 20 pounds by the end of the year? Or do you want to lose 10 pounds over the next 10 weeks or the next 4 or 5 months and actually keep it off and actually build muscle to speed up your metabolism and eat enough to fuel your body so that you feel fucking awesome? Which one do you want? Do you care what the scale says or do you care about how you feel? So again, guys, just to recap, number 1, your calories are too low. Number 2, your calories are too high. And number 3, it is working, but really you're not being patient enough. So if this was helpful, please let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if you're watching this on replay. Let me know if you're watching this in real time. And if you guys ever need anything, let me know. Put your questions down below. I'll be sure to go back and answer them and go out and do one thing that's going to take you one step closer to where you want to be.